Hey, so this video was requested by you. This is the ultimate skin maxing guide. I will go deeper into this subject than anyone has ever gone. I will give you all details and methods to anti-age your skin. This guide is 100% what I personally follow. If you do exactly what I show you, we'll never have to deal with acne, pimples, rash, or any kind of skin problem, and you will start preventing skin aging and deterioration and even delaying it.
I'm telling you guys, anything is possible.
Skin is very important when it comes to facial attractiveness. It is one of the main cause for the age pill, which is basically the plummeting of facial attractiveness as time goes by. Rehab talked about the fourth horseman and the Holy Trinity. Well, I have similar beliefs, but I add age as the fifth factor. If you are too old or look too old, you will automatically be excluded from a vast pool of highest quality women. You will basically be competing for the scraps with the other old cells. The brutal reality of the age pill is that it only gets worse past a certain age. And this is why taking care of your health is very important. Good quality skin can improve a less developed face. Skin can keep you in the competition longer, if you are consistent enough. If you're youthful until your 30s and 40s, depending on how early you started. Now, for those that are East Asian, they will benefit the most, as they don't lose skin elasticity as fast as the other ethnicities. These are good examples of how much skin can impact your looks, diet, and lifestyle. So before I talk about the skincare routines you can implement, you must understand that diet and sleep is the most important when it comes to your skin and overall health. Your skin is just an extension of your internal health, how healthy your organs are. If you sleep less than needed and eat processed trash, it's going to be useless to start a skincare routine, as the real problem is your lifestyle and diet. 1. Diet. So for diet, I suggest to cut out any processed foods and sugars and incorporate these foods. Collagen. The best source of collagen is actual collagen in tissue, and that is animal skin and fat. Raw cuts do have higher amounts of collagen. Collagen is a type of connective tissue that is invisibly scattered throughout the muscle, often surrounding fibers and sheaths. Basically, it's what keeps the muscle together when raw. So I suggest you to eat raw meat for the best source of collagen. This video is for those that are scared of raw foods. Collagen to gelatin. When meat is cooked, especially through slow cooking methods like braising or stewing, the collagen breaks down and transforms into gelatin. Another good source of collagen is bones. To consume bones, you have a couple of ways. First is eat the raw bone marrow. Second is making bone broth. Bone broth is an excellent source of collagen. The long, slow cooking process breaks down the collagen in bones and connective tissues into gelatin, which is easily absorbed by the body. You can also eat eggshells membrane, which is a rich source of collagen. Fish, especially those with thick skin like sharks and whales, are excellent sources of collagen. 2. Fat. I suggest to start eating fat with every protein meal and switch between fish fat and red meat fat. Fish fat can also be found in fish skin.
You can eat these things straight out of the river like that. That is like the freshest Alaska salmon.
And in the local EAC communities, the annual fish runs were the primary food source for the entire year. Fish are packed full of protein, and the scales are small on a salmon, so you can eat the skin as well, as it contains high levels of fat. Just what my body needs to keep moving.
And the best source of mammal fat is milk and beef fat or pork lard. The importance of zinc. Zinc is a mineral that plays a crucial role in maintaining healthy skin. Here's how it benefits your complexion. It has anti-inflammatory properties, can help with acne control because it helps regulate sebum production. Zinc can be found in both topical skincare products and dietary sources. Foods rich in zinc include oysters, crabs, and lobsters, red meat, bird meat as well. And obviously the superfood of nature, liver, which I again suggest to eat raw from grass-fed animals. Omega-3 fatty acids. A rich source of omega-3s, particularly fatty fish, are excellent sources of omega-3 fatty acids. These essential fats are crucial for skin health, among other benefits. Omega-3s act as antioxidants, shielding the skin from environmental stressors. Examples of fatty fish rich in omega-3s include salmon, mackerel, tuna, sardines. Omega-3 is also found in organs. In the highest amount, it's found in brain, from cow, goats, or sheep. Let's talk about vitamin A. Dietary vitamin A is also essential for maintaining healthy skin. While it might not have the immediate impact of topical retinoids, consistent intake provides a solid foundation for skin health. This is a list of how dietary vitamin A benefits your skin. Hydration and skin. Hydration is absolutely crucial for healthy skin. Our skin is primarily composed of water, And adequate hydration is essential for maintaining its suppleness, elasticity, and overall appearance. Hydrated skin is better equipped to protect itself from environmental stressors like pollution and UV rays. The importance of electrolytes. Electrolytes are essential for optimal skin. They work in tandem with water to maintain proper hydration levels. While water is the primary component, electrolytes play a vital role in cellular function, fluid balance, and skin barrier function. Therefore, water depleted of electrolytes is less beneficial for skin hydration compared to water containing a balanced electrolyte profile.
When I was in high school, my dad would literally punish me because I would drink no water all day. And I don't know why, okay, like literally I was just some weird kid who didn't like drinking water. You know, I like drinking like orange juice or some shit. And I started making excuses like, oh, it's not that warm outside, so I don't really need to. And I didn't realize why I wasn't drinking water till eventually I figured it out. And now, by the way, like I'm a big fucking water drinker, bro. I'm like a water enthusiast. I drink like a fucking water buffalo, I'm not gonna lie. I have 2 of these bottles because I drink too much. Each one's a liter. I've already drank a liter in 20 minutes. How awesome is that, right? So, and I'm very fucking hydrated. It fills up your muscles and everything. But I struggle for a while to drink more water. But guess the easy thing that I did to just actually become a water drinker? I made it obvious. I just always keep my water bottles with me.
Lack of hydration can cause skin to lose its plumpness, making wrinkles more visible. Dehydration can impair the skin's ability to regenerate, affecting its texture and tone. What does all this mean? It means you must drink water from high sources of electrolytes. Consume electrolyte-rich foods like watery fruits, such as watermelons, cucumbers, and coconut water. You can also drink fresh blood as an excellent source of electrolytes. I won't talk about blood in this channel. It's just not allowed. But for all my Patreons, I'm gonna make a continuation of this video, a more uncensored version of this video, where I'll talk about anti-aging more into details. I'll talk about more ways for anti-aging than I could in this video. I'm just not allowed to say much in this video.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble.
So see you there. Drink spring water from a natural source. It's the best by far, and I discourage to drink tap water for skin health. So many cringe influencers like to claim, oh bro, drink 5 bottles of water daily. That's for bots. You must never drink more than your body needs, and over drinking water will dehydrate you to the extreme. Though you must be careful with sugar intake, as it does spike your insulin. A good piece of advice is whenever you drink any sugary fruit juice is to add egg yolk or heated raw butter to it. This will help by decreasing the insulin spike. So whenever you drink sugar, add some type of raw fat to it. Heavy raw cream is also useful. Things to avoid: sugar and eating regularly. You must eat the least you can. That is why I always suggested high nutrient foods. If you do eat high nutrient foods, you won't be having to eat more than you need. The more you eat, the more you age. This is reality. And if you do eat foods that are rich in nutrients and have no sugar or gluten, then you won't age as much and you will rather be skinny and content. I suggest to stop consuming sugar once for all. Switch it with raw honey, as it's at least a healthier food. Fermented foods are the fountain of youth. Fermented foods must be religiously consumed, as they do not need much work to be broken down. They are pre-digested by bacteria. Your gut has less hard time digesting it. They both give the energy you need without your guts having to do much work. This ages you less. So fermented foods are sacred, guys, and are some of the best foods on planet Earth.
Actually, the Eskimos gave me the introduction, but that was high meat, very high meat. And they called it high because it makes them high and happy. Why would it make them high and happy? Going back to protein. Why would rotten meat, spoiled rotten meat, make you high and happy? Remember I told you about the E. coli breaking down the protein into the finite molecules that could feed the brain and nervous system? Guess what those molds and bacteria do? They pre-digest it for you. You can absorb it in 20 minutes in your system. That's why I advocated in my book eating high meat for anybody who has psychological problems. And the psychological problems usually disappear 10 to 20 minutes after you eat them. And it may last for, 24 hours, it may last 6 hours, it may last for a week. Depends upon your system, how starved your nervous system and brain are.
Examples of fermented foods are raw milk, kefir, high meat in organs, fermented cheeses. Stay away from fermented grains like beer. It's basically not healthy for humans, neither fermented or on its cooked and raw form. Skincare. Skin elasticity plays a crucial role when it comes to the overall attractiveness. The only men that can get away with having older skin are Chads. The skin does lose its elasticity over time naturally as we age, but one can do many things to prolong and prevent premature aging. And it all comes to diet, sleep, and skincare. We have discussed diet and sleep. Now let's discuss skincare. Before we start, let me tell you that if, for example, a 20-year-old guy looks 40, then it's not just an illusion. He is literally 40. That is the biological age of his body, regardless when he was born. My conclusion is that skin is so important as it does often show the health and life expectancy. So we will start a simple skincare routine to remove acne, tighten our skin, and delaying aging. Believe me, guys, a good skin means longer mating opportunities timeline. If you look 30 at 40, you will be able to date 25-year-old women instead of 35-year-old women. This is what I meant with prolonged mating opportunities. And in the other hand, if you look 40 at 20, then it's over for you. So we start to understand the basics. First is fat. Having a decent body fat is always good. It prevents you from getting wrinkles prematurely. If you don't have a high body fat, you will get deep wrinkles. The skin won't be protected much. Fat is good, and you actually can get away with higher body fat if you eat raw primal diet, as the fat molecules are going to be smaller. Here's a video by A. Jonas explaining fat created with raw foods in details.
You say, well, Jonas, you're not very fat. Yes, I am. I'm 26% body fat. You know what 26% body fat on is a man? That's obese, according to our science. But I only look like I'm maybe 12, 15% body fat. Why? Because fat molecules, when they're raw, are small and tiny. When you cook fat molecule, it swells just like popcorn. Little grain, pop, big. 10 to 50 times its normal size when you cook fat. So I have all this fat on me, but it's distributed pretty well, and it's solid. Everywhere it's solid in my tissues, because it's good, strong fat. I've been, 30 years doing this.
The benefits of the sun on your skin and use of sunscreen. Sunscreen is one of those products that is super overrated. It only is useful if you eat a modern diet. Sun is essential for good health, so I suggest to get as much as possible all over your face. But if you are into a skincare routine, then get a hat to protect your face and get sun on your back and belly instead. Sun must be worshipped. It is very essential for good health. And if your diet is shit, then your skin will get damaged. If your diet is good, your skin won't get damaged. Just get sun exposed gradually, not at once. Here's a video by Excellent Health explaining the importance of sun exposure.
The only reason why we've linked sunlight to skin damage and skin cancer is because of UV. Outside of UV, there's no part of sunlight that causes any damage to humans. Thus, we can already establish that when the UV index is low, so let's say below 3, there's no danger in being in the sun. There's no need for sunscreen, because the only thing sunscreen does is block UV. That's why dermatologists say use sunscreen, because it blocks UV. Again, the only part that science says is dangerous in terms of what the sun emits is UV, nothing else. So if there's no UV, there's no need for sunscreen, there's no need to worry. If it's 4 p.m., 5 p.m., you don't need sunscreen. You'll never need sunscreen. Usually when you listen to the medical establishment and you listen to a doctor, you listen to a dermatologist, you listen to someone who's an expert in skin cancer, they'll say that we need to avoid the sun, we need to avoid UV, and that will decrease our risk of getting problems, skin damage, skin cancer. They're focusing on the sun, okay? They always focus on the sun. They never talk about the skin. But they don't see the skin as something that varies from individual to individual outside of the melanin level, so how dark someone is. There's something called fat composition in the skin. And depending on what your skin is made out of, depending on what you've eaten, your lifestyle factors, the health of your skin in general, UV will either be a blessing or a curse. If the effects of UV were dependent on skin health, wouldn't that explain why there are so many people who say that after switching their diet to something that's very nutrient dense, filled with animal foods, and completely devoid of processed foods, they're able to tan now? Their skin doesn't become red, it becomes darker. Why is it that you've seen a bunch of people who are tanned who have amazing looking skin, while you've seen other people who get sun exposure and they become red and they have old wrinkly skin and they've aged their skin severely? It's because of their lifestyle factors and how they influence skin health. You see, to build skin correctly, you need lots of nutrients and you need a certain fatty acid composition in the skin. Certain fats are more reactive than other fats. Okay, there's something called the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio in your skin. And if you have a high omega-6 to 3 ratio, so you have a lot of omega-6 for the omega-3 that you have, you'll burn more easily. Why? Because omega-6 is very unstable. It's very prone to reactions, while omega-3, not so much. So if you've eaten a bunch of foods that are very rich in omega-6 and you go out into the sun and you sunbathe because you've heard that it's a good thing to do, or you just want to tan, and you can't tan, you burn. Why is that? Well, it's because you have a bunch of omega-6 in your skin that's going to react immediately because of the UV that carries a lot of energy and causes chemical reactions to happen. You've got an environment that will cause UVB to create a bunch of havoc. Well, if you take a healthy person who eats whole foods devoid of omega-6, they eat a lot of saturated animal fats, preferably raw, what happens? They'll tan in the sun. I haven't ever seen a single person who is on a nutrient-dense diet who can't tan. They all tan very beautifully in the sun.
You can also use beef tallow instead of sunscreen. It will be a good alternative. I do not recommend sunscreen after knowing the problems it can cause. Retinol and vitamin A-based products. These are the goats of skincare. What Tretinoin does is stimulate collagen production in the skin. You should start using retinol as soon as possible. It will give you the perfect glassy and firm skin. Look at this woman transformation over the years. She used Tretinoin for over 20 years. She is 41 here and looks great for her age, looks 10 years younger. She had a great looks maxing journey, so our skincare routine is going to be us using 3 main products: Vaseline, Tretinoin or adipalene, also known as Differin, and lastly a moisturizer. We can also add a skin cleanser, but it's not needed for men unless you are a woman and use makeup. It's good for removing makeup. For moisturizer, use CeraVe PM. It's the best one I know of. It's better to always use products that don't contain any fragrance in the ingredients list. Added fragrances are always toxic and your skin does absorb everything you put into it. For those into raw, primal diet and health, we can definitely switch some of these products for animal-based organic alternatives. So let me know if you know of any effective natural alternatives. So this is what your skincare routine is going to look like. First, wash your face with cold water. Use soap and rinse your face. Or start your routine after a night shower. I recommend this routine at night, so after washing your face and drying it with a towel, apply the CeraVe moisturizer. Let it dry without prevention. Once it's set, now apply Vaseline in the sensitive areas such as your lips, nose, corners. After you've applied Vaseline, start applying a pea-sized amount of Tretinoin or Differin all over your face. It will look something like this. Now just go to sleep and let Tretinoin be absorbed into your skin. If you are starting with Tretinoin, I suggest the weakest one, which is like 0.05, and then go gradually up after finishing 2 tubes of the prior dosage. For Differin, you can start with 1%. As Differin is less potent, Tretinoin is very potent. So remember to use it with care. Don't overdo it. It might cause more side effects than needed. It's advised to start 3 days per week for the first month, then 4 the next month, and so on, until you are doing it 6 times a week without any big side effects. You will definitely get skin peeling and sensitive skin in the first 5 months or so, but it's worth it in the long run. For the days that you aren't using Tretinoin, just do the moisturizer and nothing else. Once the peeling and side effects are too strong, just rest a couple days and get back to using Tretinoin with less quantity and more rest days. Now, if you want other ways, including injections and laser therapy, you can contact me over Patreon. I will start including them for those in need. If you are a past Patreon, just send me a message and I'll send the other methods to you. These include skin therapy, microneedling, red light, and other very underrated but effective ways, and especially young You won't need them much if you are young. Just do the things I suggested. But if some damage have been done and you have some wrinkles, then you will need some work. It's always better to prevent skin damage and premature aging than cure it, but there are many good solutions out there. Remember guys, skin is very important, so take care of your diet and lifestyle. See you in the next one, bro. And gatekeep this video, don't share it for our own sake.